Step 3. Setting up BIM server users and roles. In this step, you will learn more about the roles of team members in a teamwork environment. You will also find out how to control the access rights of different project members having different roles. You will also become familiar with the teamwork library categories and their characteristics. At the end of this step, we will set up the teamwork environment and get familiar with the most important features of the teamwork palette. Now that we have shared our project, let's familiarize ourselves with the possibilities and settings of the GRAPHISOFT BIM server. Right-click the BIM server icon in the Windows taskbar or in the Macintosh menu bar, and select the Open GRAPHISOFT BIM Server Control Center from the context menu to open the Control Center dialog. Click the Server Manager button to manage users, projects, and roles in the shared project. The Server Manager dialog appears. You can see the name of the server in parentheses in the title bar. All the previously defined settings can be accessed and modified from here. On the left, you can see the names of the various pages of the interface. You can activate these pages by clicking their name in the list on the left panel of the dialog. The Projects area lists all the shared teamwork projects. Here you can edit the project settings as well as create new teamwork projects, or delete and export a project to a different BIM server if necessary. You can see that our shared MS Building TW project is visible in the list. The global user list can be defined at the Users page of the BIM Server Manager dialog. Each user has a login name, email address, access role, and additional data. You can create any number of new users, modify their settings, or delete them. Currently, only the one user is listed that we created in the previous step. Notice that this user is displayed with a golden key icon. This means that this user is a BIM server administrator and can manage all projects, users, and roles. In the Roles page, you can manage the roles of the team members. There are some default roles. The 4 default roles are Architect, Draftsman, Lead Architect, and Viewer. For example, the Lead Architect can access and modify any part of the project. The Architect has many access rights, but has no project management type rights, such as deleting or modifying attributes, setting libraries, etc. The Draftsman has even less rights to make modifications in the project. The Viewer has only viewing rights and cannot edit anything in the project. Here, the server administrator can duplicate, rename, edit, and delete any of the roles. The Libraries page displays the list of libraries that have been uploaded to the server. Currently, we have the library that has been loaded with the PLN plan file we shared. This area only lists BIM server libraries. You need to use the Library Manager to upload additional libraries or remove them. At the Custom Properties page, you can edit user properties and project categories. A possible user property would be location, for instance, which could be useful in large offices to filter team members by their location. Project categories can be used to filter projects in large offices based on custom criteria. Switch to Projects on the left side of the BIM Server Manager dialog, and click the MS Building TW project in the list to select it. Click the Settings button to open the Project Settings dialog. Here, you can edit some project-specific settings. At the General panel, you can change the project category and view the project log. At the Users and Roles panel, you can customize user rights and modify other users and role-related settings. The Backups panel lets you create manual backups or set a schedule for the creation of automatic backups. Currently, all these panels reflect the settings we provided when we shared the project. We will discuss these options and settings in later chapters of this guide. Click Cancel to leave the Project Settings dialog. Let's now open the Roles page of the BIM Server Manager dialog. In this list, you can see the 4 basic roles of Architect, Draftsman, Lead Architect, and Viewer. Select the Draftsman role and click the Settings button to display the Role Settings dialog. Now we will see all the characteristics of all 4 roles simultaneously, so we can easily compare them. The Access Right column lists all possible access rights arranged in logical categories. Use the checkboxes to grant access rights to the roles. When the checkbox is checked, it means that the selected access right is granted to that role. For example, in the Project Structure group, all the available access rights are granted to the Lead Architect because all these checkboxes are checked for the Lead Architect role. The Role Settings enables you to fine-tune the default teamwork roles. In later chapters, you will see that the team member access rights, or roles, can be overridden on the project level. This way you can grant or deny access rights to users just for that project. Click Cancel to leave this dialog. Now we will delete the Draftsman role and create a new role which will base on the Lead Architect role. Select only the Draftsman role from the list and click the Delete button to delete it. In the Upcoming Confirmation dialog, click Delete again. The Draftsman role is now deleted. We will now recreate it with slightly different access rights using the Lead Architect role as the template. Click the Lead Architect role in the list to select it and click the Duplicate button at the bottom of the dialog. Within a couple of seconds, a new role named Copy of Lead Architect is created. Select Copy of Lead Architect only from the list and click the Settings button. In the Role Name field, modify the name to Draftsman. As you can see, the Draftsman role now has all rights checked as it inherited them from the Lead Architect role. We will disable some of the project-wide rights for this role as we do not want team members having a Draftsman role to have access rights to perform certain actions in the project. In the Project Structure group, uncheck the checkboxes for Story Create and Story Delete or Modify. With these changes, no user with a Draftsman role will be able to create new stories or modify the story structure of the project. We want only the Lead Architect to be able to perform such actions. Also, uncheck some of the other checkboxes under the Draftsman role as it is displayed on the screen. Once you are done, click the OK button to accept these changes. A warning dialog appears. This informs you that you have made changes to the roles. These changes can be applied to all users immediately by forcing them to leave the project, or it can be applied the next time they join the project. This is not relevant for us at the moment since no users have joined the project yet. Click the Apply Changes at Next Join button to continue. This takes us back to the BIM Server Manager dialog.